How are you guys doing? I'm gonna go through this with you. This holds a lot of good insights from 20-some years ago, my first budget. We're gonna talk about a little budgeting exercise today. Someone reached out to me and asked, how is it that someone can live on $40,000? And in fact, my answer is you can live quite well. That is my budget currently, $40,000, and I will break down each item that I spend every month for you on this video and show you how much I'm saving and what I've been putting into an emergency fund, and also any debt that I have is zero right now, which is great. But I also want to take you back 22 years ago when I got out of college. My first job was $40,000, and I want to show you what I was doing to budget and how I was getting by making my own food, and also what I spent on transportation. But let's get into it. Let's go into a blast into the past. Here we go. Guys, before I start talking to you about my horrible handwriting from 1999, it looks like I was drafting the Constitution. I was told I had good penmanship, but that's neither here nor there. I did put all the numbers into an Excel sheet. I'm gonna share that with you. But before we get into the numbers, I just want to give a quick thank you to our subscribers. And for those that are joining us the first time, if you like what we're talking about, starting a budget, starting investing, getting into the fundamentals and the basics, subscribe to our channel. We're here to grow from something that's very small into something that's beautiful. So let's get into the numbers, and I'll show you what my budget looked like in 2020. I'm gonna bring it up over here on the side so you guys can follow along. What I did was, in one side I have my item. This is all the 4 big buckets I talked about in the last video, which was around shelter, transportation, food costs, and also health insurance, and then also into your debt and savings. I'm gonna break that down right here and I'll show you, and we'll talk through it. For my spend, my home and shelter was $1,590. My transportation and car insurance was $270. My food from Marvy and me, we eat the same stuff. She just eats it with a little bit of dog food. Is about $200. But I'll share something with you that learning how to cook and make great meals helped me save a lot of money. Because if I look back at my budget back then, it was $200 as well, 22 years ago. But I'm eating a lot better now. Health insurance is zero because it's covered under my job. Then I have my gym membership, which is $25. That includes Planet Fitness, the Black Card, and also what I did as something frugal was I split this as a BOGO with a friend. So, hey, you know what? Can't help it when they're running great promotions. My miscellaneous food, this is all the stuff that I generally buy on the side. This is just my little fun play money. And like that pair of sneakers I was talking about, that goes into the $300 bucket. Then Marvy has dog insurance, that's $35 a month. I don't have any outstanding debt, no car payments. I do max out $1,600 a month, which is about $19,000 a year in my company matching 401. So again, free money that I was talking about. And my company matches 6%, so that's great, extra 6%, free. So I take that. And then I also have about $1,000, and the way I came up with this $1,000 is, if you look at my total budget, it's $2,420. That's about $29,000 a year. I give myself a $40,000 budget, so about $10,000 left. So what I generally do is put $1,000 into this fund investment bucket, and this bucket is for what I call buy on the red days. So that's where that money is. A little blast from the past, 1999, here we go. This is my item. Starting in 1999, my home and shelter, I was living in an apartment, sharing with a roommate, that was $800. I had transportation, that was car insurance, plus my car was $150. This is something I did as well back in the days. I bought a $5,000 Toyota Camry, and I drove that for about 3 or 4 years until I could save up for a better car. But that car was very reliable. I bought it with about 120,000 miles, but it was $5,000. So that was the money I saved in my part-time college job, and that helped me get around a bit. Food was $200. I ate out in the cafeteria a bit, so there was a little cheap money there. Health insurance was zero covered under my job. And then what you also see here is that there's a little miscellaneous for food. and that was for me eating out, going down to Princeton, date night money. That was 200 bucks. And then I also had student loans. I had 2 loans that added up to about $350 a month. And then what I did before I did anything was I put $400 in a company matching 401 at that time. That was all I could afford. I couldn't max out. But that helped me kind of start saving at that time. And then I also had a rainy day fund that was $100 I put. And then I also started putting aside an extra emergency fund, which was $200. So all that totals up to about $2,025. And at that time, my take home after all the math was about $25,000, and it came up right under. So that was how my budget looked like in 1999. Just a quick comment. So for the folks that are just starting out, use this budget. It's good because it helps you get started. So some people have written to me and say, hey, I'm not sure how to get started, how I should look at my income and also what my expenditure looks like. Make sure you can minimize your spend as much as possible, and you can start tracking it. Now, there's a lot of great apps out there. I'm still a little old-fashioned catching up here. I still use a pen and paper to track most of it, and then I put in an Excel sheet. That helps me kind of mentally see where my numbers are coming from as I'm spending my money. I hope this helps you in terms of putting a budget together. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to drop them below. Happy to answer them. But as you can see, my budget hasn't changed in many, many years. And now I have been very fortunate that I'm able to put a lot of money aside for investing. And I believe you can do the same once you start putting yourself in a budget, being able to separate what your needs versus your wants are, and then getting started. Well, this is it. Short video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, found it useful. And again, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And then I'll see you next time. Happy hustling towards your dreams. Take care.